Hello and welcome back to Boxing Social in association with Betfred. My name is Ayman. We're here at the Matchroom Boxing Gym. With me is the one and only Joe Cordina. Joe, first of all, how's life treating you?
Yeah, it's all good, thank you, mate. Second week back in camp, so yeah, it's a bit tough, but I'm just pushing on.
Enjoying yourself outside of camp?
I was, yeah, but now I'm back in camp, so yeah, I'm not enjoying myself anymore.
Let's rewind back. You got the win against Miko Kachaturian. Talk to me about kind of, obviously the justice firmly settled on that, but moving a step forward to title contention.
Yeah, obviously that fight against Kachaturian. He's quite, well, I say, yeah, he was tricky. He was quite tricky. He had a good amateur pedigree, so he made it just awkward for me. Like normally I'm used to people coming forward, so it's easy for me to outbox them and whatever else, but when I got to go and look for them, it's something that I haven't had to do in my pro career. In the amateurs, I've done it a few times, but it was mainly people trying to put it on me. So yeah, me going to him and trying to just get to him, get close and whip the shots in was something I haven't had to do as a pro. But we got him, we got the win, and I think maybe in a 12 round I think I would have stopped him.
Listening to you in interviews that I've been privy to listen to or be part of, you've just kind of had that kind of fire in you like recently to get that world title, not kind of sit on the sidelines. You want to push for that. When did that switch in you come, Joe?
Well, it wasn't. I've always said I want a world title. It was never. My plan was never to settle for a British title or anything like that. I was happy to just bypass all them, go to a world title. Obviously, I know that's just. It's not how it goes. You have to win a British, Commonwealth, and maybe go European. But I think that not the Kachaturian, the one before.
Hernandez?
No.
Kubanov?
Kobanov. He's European champion now. So it's like I'm going back, and I didn't get out of second gear. So why am I going to fight for that when the next biggest thing is a world title and it's everything I wanted? So for me, that's the main thing, and it's only touching distance. So
You made no bones now that Matchroom have signed Agara that you want Agara next. Is that the plan for you?
yeah, well, I'm just waiting to hear some news. Obviously, if that's the fight that's next, then that's great. But if not, then we just we'll have to detour a little bit. But we'll end up coming back to him whichever way Matchroom and obviously Tony decides to take me.
Let's get your thoughts on a couple of big fights in the division. First of all, that being Valdez versus Stevenson. Great fight there, Joe. What do you think?
Yeah, they're both great fighters. I think Shakur's a bit. I say he's an all-rounder. He can box, he can fight, he can go forward, he can go backwards, and he's proven that in his previous fights. He's done everything as it is as an amateur. So yeah, he's been a world champion at featherweight. Now he's moved up to super feather, world champion again, and now he's trying to get another title under his belt. And yeah, I think he's just got a little bit too much for Oscar Valdez. Even though Oscar Valdez is a great fighter, and I think he's an elite level fighter, but I think just Shakur's how cute he is, how smart he is. I think he's just going to be that one step ahead.
A couple of your campmates are in big fights too. First of all, just seen him work out here. Benn. Conor's taking on Chris Van Heerden. Your thoughts on that fight?
Yeah, I think Conor beats him. Don't get me wrong, Van Heerden has been a world champion, and he's been a great fighter, but he's had a lot of time out of the ring, and plus that he's getting to the back end of his career, and I just think Conor's just going from strength to strength, and he's improving all the time. I see him in the gym every camp where we're pretty much thereabouts, or we're in camp together, so I see the improvements and I see the level he's going to be at in the next 12 months, and it's quite scary to think that he really didn't have no amateur experience, pretty much relatively none of amateur experience, and now he's literally on the verge of a world title, and he's fighting some of the biggest names in boxing. So yeah, I think it might be a little bit tricky because Van Heerden is a southpaw for maybe a round or two, but as soon as he gets into the groove of things, I think Conor stops him.
A lot of clamour for Conor from the fans to face some of the people at the world level. A lot of fighters who I speak to over the American side say he's one of the top up-and-coming fighters in the welterweight division. How far away do you think he is from that world title contention?
Maybe 2 fights, maybe. You got the likes of Crawford and Spence. Just at that that elite level at the welterweight division. But yeah, I don't think he's far off fighting one of them, whether they move up or whether they stick around. But that's a massive fight for him. But yeah, I find, like, when you think of it, me and Tony were speaking today, or it was yesterday, one of them, and we were saying about, you put him in with any one of these, when they start feeling his power, it's quite scary to think, like, if he catches them, yeah, they're good fighters, but if he catches them, and over 12 rounds, he will catch him at least once, and I think they'll know about it if he do catch him. So yeah, don't get me wrong, he's got a job to do in a couple of weeks, and then he can start thinking about bigger fights. But at this present moment, I think his focus, and everyone in our gym's focus, is on what makes me about Conor is on Van Heerden. So yeah.
Another campmate of yours will have his focus on Joshua Buatsi, that being Craig Richards. How's Craig looking?
Yeah, he's looking great. Obviously, it's a bit of a sore one for me because Buatsi is a good mate of mine. We went to the Olympics together. We've been around the world together. So it's a bit of a sore one. But Spider's my very good mate too. So yeah, it'd be a good fight, and I'm just happy to be outside the ring watching it.
Finally, you mentioned towards the start of this interview that you're looking to hopefully be out soon. When can fans expect to see you back, Joe?
I think I've been given a date about June the 4th. So yeah, about 9 weeks Saturday. So it should be. That's why I'm in camp. I started 3 weeks ago. So yeah, I've had some good prep already, and by the time the 9 weeks comes, then I'll be firing on all cylinders.
Joe, pleasure to speak to you. Thanks so much for speaking to Box Social. We'll speak to you soon.